The world's a really big place, and there's so many places to choose from to have your destination wedding. Hi, I'm Jack with DestiWed Tips, and I'm here today to give you some tips that'll help you plan on where to have your destination wedding. Everybody has the dream place that they want to have their destination wedding. It might have been where they met their future husband or wife during college study abroad. It might have been where you went for one of your first trips together. Or it might just be that you had a dream of being in wine country. Well, again, there are a lot of places you can have your destination wedding. The most common places, the top and most popular places in 2020 for a destination wedding is a tropical destination such as Mexico or the Caribbean. Now let's talk about some of the more exotic destinations. Over the years, we've helped people plan destination weddings in France. Why? One of our clients was a wine lover, a red wine lover, and he wanted their destination wedding to be in a beautiful chateau in the vineyards of Bordeaux, France. We've also had clients come to us and have dreams of having destination weddings in the rice paddies of Bali or in the fields of Vietnam. We've also had clients that were into their heritage, such as being Irish, and we planned a destination wedding in Ireland for them. So there are many great places to choose from. The key is trying to figure out what the right location is for you for your destination wedding. So here we want to give you some tips to help figure that out. One of the first things we suggest is you look at the weather in the location you want to host your wedding, and look at the time of year that you want to host your wedding. If you're thinking about France, it's probably not a great idea to go to Paris in November when it's cold and rainy. The same may be true that if you were thinking about hosting a wedding in Italy and everybody was off in the summertime, but you really have to think about every tourist is going to be in Rome in August and it's going to be 110 degrees. Is that where you want your destination wedding? So really the first thing we suggest with our clients is take a look at where you want to have your wedding, when you want to have it, and then look at the weather. The next thing we have to look at is travel. So when we look at the travel, here's what we suggest for you to do as a nice hint. Put all your lists together of who you're going to invite. Put it in Excel. Put a column in Excel of where everybody will be flying from, what their most local airport is that they will fly from. Then put another column in and think about each of the guests you're inviting and think how long that they can take off from work, from school, whatever it may be, to attend your wedding. Once you have that list, now let's look at where you want to have your wedding. So as an example, if many of your guests are flying from, let's say, Santa Fe, New Mexico, or Madison, Wisconsin, and you want to have a wedding in Tuscany, well, the first thing that we need to do, and you need to do, is look at how do they get from where they live to where your wedding is. So what I would suggest is, if you're not working with a travel professional or a planner, what you want to do is take a look at the flights and determine how long is it going to take them to get there. Is it going to be 3 flights, 2 flights, 1 flight? Is it 8? Is it 14, 16 hours? Because I think that you have to think about is not only how long will it take them to get there, how long will it take them to return home, but also what the cost of those flights is, so that you can go back to your Excel sheet with your list and look at that and think about, is it realistic to expect all these people that I'm going to invite to my wedding to actually make the trip to this exotic destination where I want to have it? Now, what we have seen over the years is that if we pick an exotic foreign destination wedding location, that the majority of people will not attend, that the guest list will be reduced. Now, sometimes that's great. Many people want that. Other time, our clients get very upset that we'll invite 40 or 50 people, and at the end of the day, they have 10 or 12 people attending. And I think the reality is, how many people can take off 7, 8 days and want to spend $1,500 just on the flights to get there? One other thing we really also suggest is you look at the vendors. So what is it you want to do when you have the destination wedding? Are you going to need a caterer? What about decor and flowers? How about a photographer? What about a DJ? So sometimes when we go to these exotic locations, we can't find the vendors that you want. And when we can find some, there may be a language barrier because, again, you're primarily going to be in a foreign country. There could be a price issue, that they're much more expensive than you expected. And it can just be a logistics issue that, as an example with our wedding at the Chateau in Bordeaux, the issue was that all the vendors the client found, or we found, were in Paris. Well, now we had to transport all the vendors to Bordeaux. They took a train. We had to put them up overnight. So ultimately, everything became much more expensive than anybody expected. The next thing we have to look at is, what are you going to do with the guests once we get them to this exotic destination? As an example, if we're bringing everybody to Madrid, Spain, or a little castle outside of Madrid, or even going to Ireland, are we going to really have people fly a day to get there, and then when they get there, have them sit in a hotel until your ceremony? What we try to do is really understand who the guests are and what the interests are. If you are going to have your friends and family fly 14, 15, 8 hours, whatever it may be, to a foreign exotic location, I think it's very important that you give them a taste of the location. When we have planned destination weddings for clients in foreign exotic locations, we will typically either do a city tour or some activity to keep everybody together. Since everybody is a foodie, we've done restaurant roundabout tours, we've done food tastings, we've done market tours, we've done cooking classes. So I think it's very important that when you get your guests to that location, you have a full itinerary set for them so they know what the expectations are, and that while they're attending your wedding, they're truly going to enjoy the travel to that location. Now let's circle back to what's easy and what's popular today. Again, as I stated, 2020, the most popular destination weddings are tropical beach destination weddings. The most popular locations are typically going to be Cancun, Riviera Maya in Mexico, Cabo in Mexico, Puerto Vallarta, Jamaica, Negril, Ocho Rios, Montego Bay, and even if we look at Punta Cana. And the reason I think this is because it is easy to get to. There are so many great all-inclusive hotels, and all the infrastructure with the vendors are in place. Everybody gets to the hotel, and everybody has fun. The key with a destination wedding, while it's amazing that everybody attends your ceremony in this amazing location, I think it's very important we find that people just want to enjoy their time together with you and the other guests, instead of you just spending 45 seconds with them when you have your big wedding at home. So the key is, keep it simple maybe, and if you have this dream of the exotic destination wedding in a foreign location, let us help you plan an amazing honeymoon for the two of you. It is much easier to have two of you go to Italy, to Bordeaux, to Vietnam, Thailand, wherever your dream may be, than it is for us to have planning of 50, 100, 200 of your guests to one of these locations, and ultimately have some people upset because the guest list is minimized. Hopefully these tips have been helpful for you. If they have, please subscribe here or here. Feel free to leave a comment. If there's a video you're interested in or a subject you have, please let us know. We've been helping people plan destination weddings for over 20 years. Again, this is Jack with DestiWed Tips, and hopefully you've enjoyed the video and the information, and we look forward to helping you and watching our videos in the future.